October's Draconid meteor shower, sometimes called the Giacobinids, radiates from the fiery mouth of the northern constellation Draco the Dragon. Because the radiant is located so far north on the sky's dome, this shower favors temperate and far northern latitudes, such as the US, Canada, Europe and northern Asia. In 2017, the most meteors will probably fall on the evening of October 7th or 8th. Start watching first thing at nightfall. The waning gibbous moon will rise at early evening, so there will be very little moon-free time to view this shower. We must warn you that this shower is often a sleeper, even in a dark sky completely free of moonlight. But watch out if the dragon awakes, which is always a possibility. Follow the links below to learn more about the Draconid meteor shower. Where is the radiant point of the Draconid shower, and how many Draconids will I see? Can I see the Draconids from the southern hemisphere? Origin and history of Draconid meteors. Draconids radiate from near the dragon's eyes, the stars Eltanin and Rostebin. Familiar with the summer triangle? Draw an imaginary line from Altair through Vega points to them. Where is the radiant point of the Draconid shower, and how many Draconids will I see? Unlike most meteor showers, the Draconids are the best seen in the evening, instead of before dawn. That's because the winged dragon, the shower's radiant point, flies highest in the sky at nightfall. These extremely slow-moving Draconid meteors, when traced backward, radiate from the head of Draco the Dragon, near the stars Eltanin and Rostebin. However, you don't have to locate Draco the Dragon to watch the Draconids, for these meteors fly every which way through the starry sky. Usually, this meteor shower offers no more than a handful of languid meteors per hour, even at its peak. Plus, in 2016, the waxing, crescent moon will somewhat intrude on this year's show. But this shower has been known to rain down hundreds or even thousands of meteors in an hour. And in fact, it's the history of this shower that makes it so interesting. See the history section below. No outburst is predicted for this year, but then, you never know for sure. Remember, no matter where you are on Earth, the radiant for this meteor shower is highest up in the evening. Watch for the Draconids, starting at nightfall on October 7th and 8th. Simply find a dark, open sky away from artificial lights. Plan to spend a few hours lounging comfortably under the stars. Bring along a reclining lawn chair, have your feet point in a general north or northwest direction and look upward. If you don't know your cardinal directions, just lie down and look upward. Enjoy more about the Draconid meteor shower radiant point here. Here's a more detailed view of the radiant point of Draconid meteor shower. It's highest in the north at nightfall in early October. Can I see the Draconids from the southern hemisphere? It's possible you might see some Draconid meteors around the shower's peak, if you're in the southern hemisphere. But if you're so far south that the radiant point in the constellation Draco doesn't rise above your horizon, or rises only briefly, the meteors will be very few to non-existent. As seen from the southern hemisphere, you would have to be rather close to the equator in order to see Draco's stars. Suppose you live in northern Australia, say Darwin, in northern Australia, which is at 12 degrees S latitude. If so, you'd be able to see the stars Rostebin and Eltanin very close to your north-northwest horizon at nightfall in early October, given an unobstructed northern horizon. These stars would set at fairly early evening, and you wouldn't see the head of Draco again until nightfall the following evening. Why early evening? It's because, no matter where you live worldwide, the head of Draco reaches upper transit its highest in your sky at around 5 p.m. local time in early October. Thus from latitudes in the southern hemisphere, even those as far north as northern Australia, you would have a very narrow window for seeing meteors. If you're in the southern hemisphere, and you're really wanting to see a Draconid, try looking as soon as it gets really dark on October 7th and 8th, and don't expect much. Draco is depicted in an old star Altas. The constellation of the Dragon winds around the sky's north pole. What is the origin and history of the Draconid meteors? This annual meteor shower results when the Earth in its orbit crosses the orbital path of Comet 21P. Giacobinids. Inner debris left behind by this comet collides with the Earth's upper atmosphere, to burn up as Draconid meteors. This comet has an orbital period of about 6.6 years. It's about 6 times more distant at its farthest point from the Sun than at its nearest point. At aphelion, its most distant point, it's farther out than the planet Jupiter. At perihelion, its closest point to the Sun, it's about the Earth's distance from the Sun. Most meteors in annual showers aren't named for their parent comets, but instead for the constellation from which they appear to radiate, in this case Draco the Dragon. Draco's meteors, however, defy convention by sometimes also being called the Giacobinids, to honor the role this comet played in the history of astronomers' understanding of what meteors actually are. Michel Giacobini discovered this comet on December 20, 1900, and thus the comet received his name. Another sighting in 1913 added Zinner to the comet's name, which thus became 21P Giacobinids Zinner. Astronomers in the early 20th century thought that meteors and comets were related, so of course they tried to link various comets to the spectacular showers of meteors that sometimes rain down in Earth's sky. Comet 21P Giacobinids Zinner was a particularly tempting object about which to make predictions. Remember, it returns every 6 years, and its closest point to the Sun is about the same as Earth's distance. What's more, Comet Giacobinids Zinner did not disappoint the astronomers. The Draconid meteor shower produced awesome meteor displays in 1933 and 1946, with thousands of meteors per hour seen in those years. Read a more complete account of historical predictions about Giacobinids Zinner and its meteor showers here. In October 2011, people around the globe saw an elevated number of Draconid meteors, despite a bright moon that night. European observers saw over 600 meteors per hour in 2011. No one is expecting that this year, but you never know. The relationship between 21P Giacobinids Zinner and its meteors, so studied and discussed among professional astronomers in the early 20th century, probably explains why the Draconid meteor shower sometimes goes by the name Giacobinids. For a taste of history related to this shower, go to the Astronomy Abstract Service from the Smithsonian and NASA and find a 1934 article called The Meteors from Giacobini's Comet by C.C. Wiley. It's an account of the famed meteor storm of 1933. Draconid meteor seen from Italy in 2011, flying near the bright star Vega in the constellation Lyra. The stars Eltanin and Rastaben in Draco, near the radiant of the Draconid meteor shower, shine close to Vega. Image via Vittorio Poli. Bottom line, in 2016, the Draconid meteor shower, also called the Giacobinids, is expected to produce the most meteors on the evening of October 7th. Find a dark, country sky and as much open sky as possible. Lie down on a reclining chair and look upward, as soon as darkness falls. How many Draconid meteors will you be able to catch? No one expects a Draconid storm this year, but one can always hope. Earth Sky Meteor Shower Guide for 2017. Photographer and educator Noel Chenier posted tips for photographing Draconid meteors in this 2013 blog post.